Alright, we're back into another Dragon Ball Super Card Game video. This is another video about Draft Box 5. What a surprise. This one's going to feature all of the black cards that me and a special someone, Young Badman. What's up? Hey, what up? There's a teammate himself, Mr. Bubble Boy. Gonna talk about some black stuff. And if you have any suggestions or anything that we missed, or you have some opinions about all the stuff that we went through, let us know in the comments below. Become a sponsor. Probably gonna do some stuff next week as I just released something for the hit deck, and join the Discord. Let's get into this. The first thing is the Kato Line, Kato Pesla, whatever. I can never say it, but if you watch the live stream that I did, last Friday, I did do Kid Ku with blue black with Kato Pesla, and he's actually really good. Like, I think this is the translation for I've said this before, where Bandai is like, okay, this is the black color. If you want to be competitive, or at least be like semi-competitive, or have an option within this set that is black, this is it. This is going to be the cheaper option that you can play. And this one looks at the top 7, in which you evolve on top of it for 1. It gets dual attack and barrier, which is pretty safe, and then you can return or negate the attack of 4 or less. This guy for 2 is critical and double strike, and you draw 1, and you warp something, which is just wild, for 2 energy, and get all this stuff for 25k double strike, critical. And then this guy gets everything, getting basically barrier with 1 evolve, and you switch to active mode. You already know the deal. If you want to see more about this, go check the live stream out. But Batman, what do you think about this line?
Like you said, it's a nice budget alternative, and it kind of lines up with what cards are good right now. Like the 1 drop replaces itself. The 4 drop you play for 1 energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a 1 for 4 is pretty good, and then like you just get a lot of value playing these cards for cheap, and the payoff is really good too. It's a budget deck, but you're not using bad cards if you decide to go this way. Right.
And I think at the time of the recording, we obviously don't know the prices for this. I'm sure the pre-order numbers are going to be like $1 to $5 for each card, right? Or maybe even less. But these guys are commons, uncommons, and a rare. So I wouldn't imagine, unless it's going to have like the topo treatment, which I recommend to pick these up before it does get into that point. It is just hopefully going to be affordable, which goes into the next one, Gohan, which is another rare. This one is a counterplay, counterattack, deflect, and it bursts 5. And until the start of your main phase, you only take 1 damage from double strike, triple strike, and quadruple strike. Nothing about critical, nothing about anything like that. But this is basically the Ghetto Jiren of the leader. Very specified as far as the 3 costs and as well as the burst 5. They kind of balance it out. But it is Universe 7. It is a Saiyan. It is an Earthling, so it has a lot of cool tags. And it's generic, so anybody can play it. Your thoughts, Brayden?
Yeah, the fact that this is generic and it's a rare, being the draft box, you're gonna want to go ahead and pick this up. This is one of the cards I feel like Bandai makes for a reason. It might not be, evident now what this card is made for, but it could be a card in the future that you need this as an out to. So with this being draft box, I would go ahead and pick this up while it's cheap.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they release, I'm pretty sure UI Goku, the 4-drop blue card, I think that was the first one that had counterplay and counterattack on it, and this is the second one. Both of those kind of answered cards in the format, and as well as previous formats, and hopefully in the future. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. So if you wanted to get around, I guess aggro, like game enders, and you have a lot of energy to play with, this is going to be the card to do, especially in like Hatchiak and things like that. Next one, speaking of energy, these guys are free, and we have no idea why. The 5-drop Analyza is basically the same thing as the 4-drop over here. Both of these received erratas. I might have to pull that up, but it's something to do with the permanent. Either way, it's basically so you don't loop it over and over again. But the thing about this is that Analyza is a 5-drop, 25k double strike barrier. The 4-drop is a 20k critical. Both of them require a 5-drop and a 4-drop that's a black card on your field, and you play from your drop. The thing about it is that it synergizes well with obviously Overwhelm, because that's like the cheapest thing. The only issue is that you have to have this in your drop after you Overwhelm. So you have the combo, or you play a leader like Boo, or Demigra or Bassan or something like that that gets stuff into the drop. Not necessarily things or black leaders, but those are going to be the best options for that. I put a lot of different options over here, from Banisher Fu to obviously the counterpart 5-drop Bassan, the boost stuff, and as well as even the dash pack Hachiyak. And then we have the critical ones, the Mira, and as well as the Desperate Onslaught Bardock, both 5-drop black cards. And if you're playing anything with Bardock Awakened Instincts, this card will be the perfect thing to pitch, because right after you can play it after you play Bardock. So there's a lot of cool things that are on here, especially the Kato line as well. But did I miss anything there, Brandon?
No, I don't think so. Free is good right now. The best cards, if you think about it, you don't pay any energy for it, and these kind of fall in line with that. So I definitely think that these are at least worth picking up.
Yeah, 100%. This one at the bottom is a rare. The other one's a super rare. I'd imagine this is going to be pretty expensive, I would say, as soon as someone figures out a deck. Do you agree that these should be free? Like, should it say like it leaves at the end of the turn or something like that?
No, it's a lot of really strong effects in the game right now, so I feel like this lines up with it. These just gave mono black decks a little boost, maybe enough to get back in. Besides Majin Buu, you know, so we'll see.
For sure. And I think Majin Buu really fits for both of these. Like, it'd be pretty cool to fit those in there, add another aggro piece. And I think the errata is that if either one of these gets removed from a skill, from the battle area that is, or moved from the battle area, it goes to the bottom of the deck instead. So that's so it won't loop and, you know, it goes to drop and then you play it again, etc, etc. So
right, from the battle area or combo area. So if you try to combo with it from your hand, it's gonna go to the bottom of your deck. So you have mono black decks typically have ways to get these in the drop area without comboing. So yeah, that's why they meant for those decks.
Makes sense now. Okay, cool. All right. So shout out to Frank Miller. We got the 2-drop Jiren. How about you take this one?
Yeah, I know our boy's happy to see this card.
Well, I mean,
so this is a 2-drop counterplay, generic, you know, no specified cost. And when you play this card, it's a counterplay skill, and when you play it, you draw a card, and cards in your hand can't be returned to your deck by your opponent's skills for the turn. So when you play this, the counter skill will resolve, letting you draw a card. And if your opponent plays something like Gogeta or Zen of the Playing God, then since it's a counterplay and on an auto, it'll go off before their skill, and you won't have to return the cards in your hand to your deck.
For sure. And you still draw a card, and you get a 15k body, which is kind of silly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing Jiren, you can play it for free, if that's your thing, I guess. But it doesn't really have any evolved targets, so it's not too crazy. The best thing is going to be Gogeta, where hopefully, I don't know if the ruling is correct on it, in which you still draw the 3, so you draw 4 for this, and you still get the body. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. But
yeah, we'll just have to see. I think this is Gogeta 7's not nailed in the coffin, but you know, he's getting close to there.
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially since it's I wouldn't say hardly being played, but it's getting harder to play. And I think the other thing is the other cards that we don't really think about is things that spin back to your deck, or like cards basically from your hand to your deck, like Hirudegan or Gogeta 5, in which, you know, they have to return into the bottom of the deck. So things like that in the future are going to be kind of important for this card too. But that makes more sense, or it makes more sense to take a look at this one as well. This is, I don't know how to say his name. Koisukai?
Koisukai, yeah.
Koisukai. So all like a fish, I guess. Canonical Courage, okay. This has a lot of text, but it's activate main, and you remove it from the game, which is super important, because otherwise you'll be able to like loop it from your warp if it was warp, or to the deck, etc. You choose up to two cards from your hand and place it into the bottom of the deck in any order you draw through the number of cards you place in the bottom. So if you do 1, you do 1. If you do 0, you do 0, basically. And for the duration of the turn, if your opponent plays a battle card for 20k or less, you choose 2 cards from their hand and send it to the warp. And it's for the entire turn. You might be asking, why is it on your turn? Well, that's because of counterplays, battle cards that you negate with, that is, and other one-drop battle cards like Videl, Master Roshi, etc. So that kind of hits a lot for that. If that's the only card that's in their hand, they're going to be losing 3 cards pretty much in total if they're negating an attack, basically. And then a lot of rival cards from like the 5-drop, or yeah, the 5-drop Cooler and the 5-drop Gogeta. A huge thing is that it's choose up to. I've been playing this in Hachiyak, and I didn't want to choose any cards from my hand to the deck, and just activating this and not drawing is pretty important. But if you play something like Kid Ku and you just pitch a ball into the bottom of your deck, and then you play Kid Ku and you just get it right back and you draw a card from that, it's pretty cool as far as those interactions. And I think this card is going to be pretty interesting, or at least very, very important for a lot of different formats.
So this one's definitely one of the cards Bandai is using to sell the set. The effect is really good against what's good right now. So they want you to, buy the draft box to try and get this card because, like you said, a lot of players are playing on their opponent's turn right now with 20k or less, whether it be counterplays, rival, aandroidd 15 coming out after you combo it. So, yeah, you want to get your hands on this to go against pretty much everything. That's why it's calling it the anti-everything bot.
Pretty much. And do you think this is like the right direction as far as like fixing the format, or at least countering the format?
It's I guess it's Bandai's way of doing rotation. They don't have to necessarily rotate the cards out, but when you have cards like this that exist, you weaken strategies that have been out for a while until you start playing new ones. So
yeah, I do agree. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, this is generic. It doesn't require a leader. It doesn't require energy. Oof. We'll see.
It doesn't have any relevant names or traits either, so that's really good.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that though, unless it's in the future. But we do have the missing link here, the Nari Rama. It's a big robot. It's a 30k 3 costs. The only reason why I say missing link is because we didn't have a 3 cost vanilla black card, and now we have him. It still doesn't have any combo power, but it's nice to have. And again, with Kid Ku, this is just a nice little boost to like mono black decks. Right?
I definitely would have enjoyed having this in Hachiyak over Super Saiyan Trunks.
Yeah, I do agree. Paying 2 for 2 is like but paying 2 for 3. Insert Drake meme right here.
That's what the game's all about. Yeah, you just want to pay less for more, and that's how you win.
Exactly. Speaking of, well, not really, but this is the Ghetto Kid Ape. This is a rare from the set. It's a negated attack. It's a black card. You activate main 1 to the warp from the drop area, and you draw 1 card. The cool thing about this is that you can play it in any deck, obviously, but it synergizes well with a lot of different leaders like Demigra, anything that can play basically Gravy, in which you can literally get two of these cards from your warp, put it right back into your drop, and then use it for later using Gravy or using that turn, and just making sure that you have an uninteractable 1 cost 1 draw, just like we have the uninteractable 2 cost 2 draw, right? It's very cool, and just another answer for like hand destruction, things like that. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Definitely an answer to hand destruction. If they pick this from your hand, you can just cantrip it, or you can use it to negate that critical swing coming your way, and then replace it next turn. So. Yeah.
This card's baller. This one, however, is even more baller. This is the next high price SCR. This is the Protector of the People, in which you can get the attack, choose 1 card from your hand. Again, it's pretty interesting how a lot of these cards, you have to pitch 1 or you have to pay 1 or etc. Into the drop, and it's black, right?
And it's coming less and less of a negative and kind of evening out as a positive nowadays, because you can totally pitch the Mechanical Courage card we talked about earlier to this.
Exactly, and it does synergize well with a lot of different cards. Too bad Beerus says battle cards only, because if you pitch it with this, then it would be pretty good. But if it said like remove from game, now that's an actual cost, right? That's right. That's something to consider. But this one says you can choose 1 of your leader cards, which future proofing, right? Gains the following effect, and when it's attacked by a battle card, it gains 5k for the turn. The interesting part about this is that it works like Bergamo from what it reads, in which when something is attacking, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter if it's a battle card, but when a battle card does attack your leader, you go ahead and give it 5k. If you negate that, it still regains the 5k as a bean or whatever. for the turn. So you can be a 20k leader, 25k leader, however many attacks. And this actually has saved me quite a lot, simply because they just want to pass since you're now a 25, 30k leader after a couple attacks. So pretty legit. Doesn't activate on the first swing, but you can negate the leader and then be safe for the rest of the turn usually.
Yeah, this is a truly generic answer to aggressive deck. So I'm definitely with you thinking that this is going to be the next high price super rare.
Yeah, like if it's not right now or on release, it's going to be in the future. I can almost guarantee that.
If this card is any kind of affordable price for you, like 10, 15, I'd probably pick them up before they get to the 30, 40, 50 range.
Yeah. Don't really want to put any prices, but that's kind of how DraftBox 4 came out, so I do agree.
You just gotta, I guess, prepare. That's what we're making this video for, right?
Yeah. Thanks, wallet. Hey, we got some odds and ends. Some stuff that we didn't really think it was like completely important to pick up, but Brandon, you can take this one.
Yeah, I got you guys back. I added these after. So he kind of got them sectioned off here. The Boulder Elastic Strike is a generic card, just some removal. It can go in any deck and can remove anything without barrier. So I think that's a pretty good pickup. The Bionic Boulder is a negate. This is a generic negate that can pop 1-drops. So I figured that's a nice little odd and to pick up. And we've also got 2 cards here for Hatchiyak. The Final Mission is a 4-drop board wipe. If they're going too wide on you, you can just pay the little Hatchiyak cost of putting 3 to 7 drops back in your deck, and you can wipe their board of 20Ks or less. And this Enraged Eminence Vegeta is a dual attack critical 20K for no energy. Oh, no, that's 3 energy.
Yeah, 3 energy.
That card's free. Yeah, no.
It would have been busted.
Yeah, maybe you don't want that card. No.
I mean, it's okay. Okay, if it was free, it would be really good. But I think that card's like, okay. It's another, like the issue with this is that the auto has to go off for you to pay the cost instead of the cost being that, right? If it was like activate main, pay 3, and then choose 3 battle cards, it'd be really good. But it's just kind of like an iffy type thing. It's a cool card.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll see play in draft for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got 2 cards for Universe 7. They're just really good cards. The Strength of Legends, Vegeta and Goku. If they're pretty cheap and you like Universe 7 decks, I'd pick them up. They're not really a necessity, but they're really strong cards. And if that deck becomes popular, I guess you don't want to be caught without. And then lastly, the Shin Noble Supremacy. It's got a pretty generic effect, pretty specific effect. I think if it's you have 3 or less energy, when you play him, your opponent can't attack you with 7 drops or higher until the end of the turn. So it's another one of those cards I feel like Bandai made for a reason. So you don't get overrun by really powerful cards early. That card's an out to that strategy.
Right. I think the biggest thing is well, I'm trying to think. I don't think there's like too many threats where you're at 3 or less energy unless you keep yourself at 3 or less energy. But I'm sure it is something that's like future proofing as well. So we'll see. Cool. Well, what do you guys think? Did we cover everything? Did we miss anything? What do you think about the choices? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Discord, all that other stuff as well. Any last words, Brandon?
See you guys in the next video.
Okay, later.